Amityville No Escape is something I wish we could escape because it's a confusing mess. And while I usually write script for these Amityville videos because that makes my things easier, this one is such a confusing mess. I wish to elaborate on it by the format too. So the trick is there are two timelines in this. One is in the 90s and one is in the 2000s. This is not indicated anywhere. You will realize it is happening after a couple of minutes, and it really makes no sense. You see, this thing is a found footage style movie, but it's not really because usually you don't know who is recording. I don't even ask why someone is recording found footage. Someone will be recording, but here it's just, and the two point in time are really just overlapping randomly. The inserts are just happening. In theory, someone is watching the older footage from a VHS tapes, uh, because people do that, but it's not one session, or there is no reason to sit down and watch it, and they don't even sit down. They just, the filmmakers insert the footage in the for the new family, between the shots of the new family, and it's just very confusing experience. You don't want to follow. You lose all enthusiasm to follow what is happening, why it's happening, what's happening with whom, and you really beg the film to keep what how it starts, the nudity. Really, for the previous film, the what was it, Amityville Terror, the nudity was kind of part of the story. There was the crazy artist person, and it was about the cleaning fluid getting to the bath. So nudity is acceptable if you don't crop it out. And there was the evil lady who, of course, had to do debauchery. So it's part of the story. Here, there are just people naked, and when they did the full frontal nudity at the very beginning, the second minute, I was just, okay, fine, at least, stuff. But then at the 8 minutes, there is the chubby girl doing thing in the pool. I was asking, who is recording this? Why are they not bothered by this? Mom is recording how his son is doing sex in the pool with the girlfriend. That's a weird thing to do. Well, if you ask me, I, you know, just not something you would expect. But then it turns out it's the other timeline, and it's Dumb and Dumber doing the recording, who were moving into the house, which is the Defo house at least. So in this timeline, it was not burnt down. So I don't know how many timelines we already have, or what is the timeline somewhere, or even if the timeline is important in any sense. It would be actually madness to figure it out, but and it would be probably entirely useless. But you know, that's undiscovered territory. There might be dragons. Then There is an homage to The Ring. You know, they were watching the VHS tapes and finding out the girl thrown in the. You can see in this picture. By the way, the film is not very hasty about establishing itself as an Amityville film, as around the halfway point, like a little bit past that, we heard the 1974 events, you know, the Defo murders, and at the 45th minute is when we actually reach the house in the later timeline, 2016, or at least the neighboring forest, and they start camping there and doing a Blair Witch remake or something. It's really a practical tip. If you get lost at night, especially at night, don't move, don't go anywhere, you will just get lost even more. What you need to do is wait until sunrise, check where the sun is, remember which hemisphere you are on, and then you can tell roughly which way is north. And you know, the northwest southeast thing you can do from that. And then you can, at least with a wide approximation, you can head to the nearest city or settlement. And, and another important tip, if you see someone in the woods when you got lost, you are looking for someone, hopefully, or something, even if you are ghost hunting, and it's the nighttime and you were not settling down waiting for sunrise, and you see someone, and can't emphasize this, don't go back to the others and say you saw nothing. That's just really absolute, it's even more stupid than any horror movie cliche. It's just unacceptable on any level. The whole thing is so confusing that I have a note that after 68 minutes had to be spent in the film, at the film, with the film, to realize the main group of the film in 2016 has two cameras, not one. That's how well established this thing is. And just to add to the nonsense, 5 minutes before the credits, I called the group Dumb and Dumber and their girlfriend. One of the boys shoots himself on the head. Why? What happened? Is there a possession running? Any supernatural thing? I have absolutely no idea. This is just something that happens. I have zero clue. Then, as a final twist, the girl they were looking for, who is supposed to be like 10, but played by a 20-something actress, comes into the frame of the camera, touches the dead body, and says, "You are it."